Liebelt. How are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. So it is Tuesday. Here we go. Insulin resistance. This is our topic of conversation every day. Actually, today I'm going to do a part 2 to yesterday. So yesterday we did a lot of we were talking a lot about leaky gut, and I want to so encourage you today, like crazy banana encourage. So today I titled it The Gut Reset That Changed Everything, Real People, Real Relief. So it's a little bit of like a testimonial Tuesday, but don't tune out. I think you're just going to be super encouraged as to how your life can shift. You know, you guys, you create my content. That's like my goal, is that you are creating my content. And so once again, this is being created by you. You guys curate, you don't even know it. All right, so how are you doing? Let's see, what is the housekeeping for today? Before we jump in, the housekeeping is very quickly, let's see. The glucose product is on back order. I already know this. If you need, and if you have any questions, let me know. I didn't realize that people maybe just didn't know that when something is on back order, not out of stock, on back order, you get put into a waiting list, and actually that's been shipping out rather quickly. But the most important part for you is that you don't get charged until it ships. So jump in, get it ordered with your order, the glucose health, because then it'll just ship. You're like in that waiting line, right? Until they potentially, like if they have to pause until, I think they said July 14th. I'm seeing them ship. So I'm not seeing them completely stalled. So I guess what I'm trying to say is don't wait. Don't hesitate. Get in the line, because they obviously have stock they're working with as they're replenishing. Okay, it's such a popular product, you guys. There's a reason for it, right? There's a lot of reasons for it. I just want you to know that that's kind of what happens when you have a very, very popular product. So you definitely do not want to pause and wait and ponder. You want to jump on that. Number 2, if you have not taken advantage of the customer campaign yet, which is where you purchase $150 3 months in a row, and on the third month you get $75 off. You literally get paid to take care of yourself. I don't know who else is doing this. You can start any month. You didn't miss a bus. This is an ongoing campaign. So you can start in June and do June, July, August, cha-ching. September, October, November, cha-ching. And think about how that helps you then on your wellness journey, but also too, like that hits right at Christmas time when you need that, little bit of extra cash in your pocket in November when you're shopping, right? Okay, so here we go. All right, so yesterday we talked a little bit about leaky gut. We talked about what it looks like for you, but then what happens if you don't take care of anything, okay? And so I had this voice text this morning from somebody who, she started the gut primer like last October, but she has short gut syndrome. So I don't know if anybody knows what short gut syndrome is. I know that I wouldn't be able to explain it extraordinarily well either, right? That's not something that I've ever dealt with. But she used the gut primer, and that was such a pivotal point for her to, she says, and again, I always make sure, I'm not making claims, you guys. I'll just tell your stories. I just want to tell your stories, because when you can increase the quality of somebody's life, it just matters so much. She said she was running to the bathroom like 15 plus times a day. And then when that didn't have to be that way anymore, on top of that, what happened was it was keeping her out of the hospital with kidney issues for the last 9 months. So those types of things are a really big deal when you're able to finally stop listening to the noise and the band-aids that people offer, or, whatever, and actually get to the root cause of what we're talking about. So the reason why we talk about insulin resistance every day is because I was raised by a type 2 Italian dad who died of type 2 diabetes at 63 years old, super young. And I was really pondering this morning, actually. My brother passed away at 60 in April of 2020, not from Rona at all. But he also was type 2 diabetic. And I'll just tell you, that is so like my heart, right? Because then we miss out on the life that they were living. We miss out on the memories being made with these people, right? It's very sad. And so I was thinking about that this morning and about how I'm the only one in my immediate family to have avoided type 2, et cetera, and just how grateful that I am. I'm so grateful. And so when somebody, voice texts me and says, I'm so glad that my mom, because her and her mom are both like, her mom has the most insane total body reset um, testimony. She's one of the bigger testimonies that just, 74 years old, lost 45 pounds in 5 months and doesn't have leg cramps and all sorts of goodness in her life at now she's 75. But her and mom, she said, I'm so grateful that my mom found your content and that we've been able to like move in this direction, basically. Well, I understand that feeling. So when I hear that, it like makes my heart all warm and fuzzy because I understand what it's like to find answers where you thought you were going down one direction and you thought that was the only direction available to you. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. I'm actually turning this around. I'm actually doing something different. It's why I'd show you my pantry and my fridge every month in the group. The group, by the way, is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And because it's like, that's exciting. That's exciting to show you like how much I've changed. I know you can't see me 10 years ago. I mean, you can on my picture. I was a 2X 10 years ago. But I know you can't see how I was or what was in my brain. You can only just listen to my own stories. But I hope that they encourage you because I was like, if there was a Facebook group or, if there was like a school yearbook, it would have been like most unlikely to succeed in her health or losing weight. Most likely to be type 2 diabetic and be on meds the rest of her life. That's me. That's my picture. Like you just don't even know how like addicted to sugar I was and how my body was just barreling towards type 2 diabetes. Just that's where I was headed, just like my dad did. And I was gestational diabetic in my early 20s. Like I should not have been the one. So I talk a lot about the gut reset and I want to just give you some testimonies today. How about that? How are you with just hearing some success stories of some people who have actually like been able to make their gut better? And the reason why we talk about this is because insulin resistance, the trunk of the tree, causes leaky gut. Okay, so there's a correlation. And then you're living this life of, oh, I'm bloated, or I feel gross after I eat, or I look 6 months pregnant by the end of my day, or my bathroom habits are way off. I'm either way constipated or I have diarrhea all the time. I have to be so careful with what I eat, or I can just tell my nutrients aren't absorbing. One of the things that she said was, my hair, my skin, and my nails are all doing so much better now because she's actually absorbing nutrients. Because leaky gut, remember yesterday, you can go back and watch the replay. And if it's not on TikTok, because it won't be, you can go to my YouTube. I'm the same everywhere. My name is the same everywhere. The only place that it's even remotely different is on my personal Facebook profile, because my maiden name is Fragale. Fragale, Fragale. So you can go to my personal Facebook page and that's how you would find me there. But otherwise, so the replays are on Facebook and YouTube, etc. Okay. But we talked about the gut yesterday, and I always talk about the gut reset protocol, right? So the product that looks like the gut primer, okay, or sorry, it looks like a greens product, but it's a primer for your gastrointestinal tract. So these are the testimonies that I want to share with you, because these are things that have changed people's function, therefore changed their ability to just enjoy any given day. When I was taking care of my mom, I'm going to look this up here. Hi, Jody. Good morning, Magda. Good morning. When I was taking care of my mom with dementia, that was really challenging, right? Because she definitely, here we go, pulling up my testimonies. We were mitigating lots of meds, lots of side effects to those meds, lots of bathroom habits that were not pleasant, hard to go out in public, had a lot of incidents and scenarios and whatever. And one of the things that really torqued me off was to go to the doctor and say to them, like, this is happening with my mother. And they're like, oh yeah, that's the Met. And you can fill in the blank, that one med for type 2. I'm like, excuse me? What are you talking about? Take her off of it right now. I'm like, what? You know this and you don't, like, this is normal that she has these bathroom issues? Anyway, so her gut, obviously, because of prescription meds and over-the-counter meds and, the processed foods that we eat and everything, were kind of messed up. And the documentary that I had seen on the airplane, if you remember, that told us that we have killed off about half of the species in our gut in America over the last 50 years. We've literally killed off those species. So we have a very narrow diversity of gut microbiome species. And this has created a lot of issues. We've kind of done it ourselves through all those things that I just said. And it's up to us now to really just kind of get our guts back up and running. So, all right, here we go. And if anybody has any questions, put them in the comments so that I can see them and answer questions. If you have questions today, this is a really great Q&A day for that. And here's my email. All right. So these are very specific for the gut primer. If you ever need testimonies of anything that I talk about, one of the best places to go would be on top of my Instagram page, or when you ask me for information on any products, usually I have testimonies in there. But I have those little highlight bubbles at the top of my IG page. Okay, just in case you wanted to know that. So this one, I have been on the primer for 2 months. No bloating, no kidney issues, and I've lost 14 pounds. Okay, that's it. I love this. I love the no bloat part. This one, I love this. I had eczema on my elbows and ankles. So did you know that your skin was connected to your elbow or to your gut? So had eczema on my elbows and ankles. And after 3 months, gone. Had it for 2 years. I should have put the 2 years in there. I need to go fix that. After 2 years of having eczema on her elbows and ankles, gone. Such a great testimony. Okay, so I'm sleeping better than I have in years. I was just talking to somebody this morning about sleep. She's having a hard time sleeping. And you always have to go core issue, like take the axe to the root of the tree. What's the core behind why you're not sleeping, as opposed to, I've literally talked to people who say, I take Benadryl at night. That is horrific. That is really bad, because it's, number one, it's messing with your natural circadian rhythms. But that's just a really bad, a bad connection for your body to have all the time. Plus then you're making your liver work harder. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. But because of just starting on something like the gut primer, right? I'm sleeping better than I have in years. It doesn't promise that result, but I consider it a welcome and unexpected result. That is something we don't think about. How if we can get our gut aligned, remember there's a gut-brain axis. There's always a connection with our gut and what's going on everywhere else, whether it's our skin or sleep, anxiety, depression, lack of nutrient absorption, all of these things, it's all connected. All of it's connected. I've definitely noticed a difference in my digestion and how calm my stomach feels after meals. How calm it feels after meals, less bloated. Okay, so the primer has made a world of difference. I was on a med for IBS and a prescription probiotic. Neither worked. Neither worked. As long as I take this, I'm good. Oopsie. Alternative. If you are an alternative person, this is for you today. This is for you. Hold on. So funny. Okay. I wish I had it before and after. I don't have to think about running to the bathroom 15 times a day. I feel like a normal person. She has short gut syndrome. If you've never known anything about that. After 1 week, bloating went away. After 1 tub, her jeans that she had grown out of fit again. Golly. I have a pair of jeans that are very old. I don't know if anybody else does. I have a pair of jeans that are very, very old. And I think those are the ones that I wanted to share with you today. Let me double check. Those are the ones that I wanted to share with you today. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to let's just talk about, this is part 2 to yesterday. So many good responses because so many people are dealing with digestion issues and they mess with our vacations. They mess with our, any kind of travel plans that we have, whether or not we're on the road or flying or whatever. And you can feel so frustrated, like you're concerned about traveling and not being near a bathroom, or you're concerned about traveling and constipation building up, and you don't know how to get on top of that. Or oftentimes it just has basically to do with the fact that you don't have a gallbladder anymore, and you just know that your digestion is just going to be like either it's going to flush right through you super fast, or you're just having a hard time metabolizing anything that you're eating and digesting, and you just feel gross. And nobody wants to feel gross. Who's got time to feel gross, right? So sometimes you eat healthy, but you end up bloated or uncomfortable. I've had many people say this to me, and then it was just really made clear when I was doing my research. It's like you eat one thing and you're bloated. You're like, well, what'd I do? What did I do? Like, how does this happen? And I've had that come to me many times where it's like, how can this possibly be? Well, it's probably because you haven't moved impacted waste through your system. It's probably because your digestion is that off. Like as we get older, we create less enzymes to actually be able to deal with our body, with the food that we're eating, etc. Right? It might be because your liver is super sluggish, like wah, wah. That might be, that's why we deal with everything all at once. So I'm always talking to you about gut, liver, bring down your sugars, bring down your insulin. Let's just do this little reset, and you're able to actually move forward and feel good and enjoy your life. If you're not enjoying your life, it's summertime. You have to ask yourself, if this isn't the time that you finally take care of yourself, when is? Because summertime, well, I know when you guys are in the South, it's hot. But for us in Minnesota, this is like the glory. These are the glory days of the year. So that's me, right? But foods that you used to tolerate now trigger gas, bloating, skin flare-ups. You feel puffy, foggy, tired. You're so fatigued. Could be your gut, right? Moody, and you can't explain why. Gut-brain axis. 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. I mean, honestly, can you imagine where people actually deal with the core issues and they stop taking SSRIs and they stop taking all these prescriptions that are messing further with their gut, taking them further down the road that they didn't want to go down? I love it when people tell me they're working with their docs to get off of meds. Makes me so dang happy, because that is literally that's one of those really close to my heart memories of my dad taking so many pills, so many, and then so many side effects, and then so many counteractions, ridiculous. And you can get to a point where you're taking things that no longer can you concern it's hard for you to entertain then this world that I'm talking about. If you're on my content, this alternative world, because it does get to a point, if you are on a blood thinner, there's so many things you can't take. You're kind of blocked, and nobody wants that, right? Maybe you're struggling to lose weight, even if you feel like you're doing everything right. Maybe you're feeling super inflamed. You have achy joints, breakouts, or random aches that are popping up, right? So inflammation that spreads beyond digestion. It goes to your joints, your brain, your skin, and your hormones. You can miss out on key nutrients when you have leaky gut. So even from the healthiest of meals, if you're not absorbing your food or your supplements, then what's the point? You're automatically flushing money down the toilet, literally, because you're not absorbing. And so that was the conversation this morning was, I can tell I'm absorbing. I've been on the primer since October, my hair, my skin, my nails. I'm absorbing finally. My bathroom habits are normal. Finally, I feel like a normal person. Right? So these are the things that you'll notice when you're actually absorbing. Your hormones can be very, very chaotic if you've got liver and gut issues. Very chaotic. You can have low energy, poor sleep, slower metabolism. Like we got to lift the hood of the car, right? You can have anxiety, brain fog, irritability, mood swings that seem to come literally from nowhere. Like, what was that? I noticed that so much when I was starting to actually pay attention to because my mom wouldn't leave me alone about my sugars. Kirsten, like, hello, type 2 diabetes all over the Italian family. What are you doing? Why are you gaining weight? That was me right there, right? That's when she's bugging me. And she's like, do you even go to the doctor? Like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you go to the doctor and get your sugars checked? Like, you should be doing this, etc. And, but it was at that time, and I had no idea. I totally over my head. Like I had no connection to any of this that I talk about. I felt the anxiety and depression coming back like it was in my postpartum days. And I was like, what's going on? Like that postpartum depression, I had very, very deep postpartum depression after my first baby. I had lost a lot of blood and my hormones were whack. I had been gestational diabetic and I literally went upside down to the point where I had him on Friday and they kept me until Monday because I couldn't pee. You can't leave the hospital if you can't pee. And he had traumatized my bladder. He was 9 pounds, 13 ounces because I was gestational diabetic. And so on Monday, they decided that they were going to put a Foley catheter in me, which was there for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. But anyway, and send me home. And I go home and I've got this little baby and my husband get home. He's now 36. That's a little bit ago, right? I get home and I'm on the phone with my mom that night and I think I'm normal because I'm not assessing myself well. Like I'm whatever. She literally said to me, you do not sound good. You need to come out and live with me right now. This is only about a half an hour away, so it wasn't far away. I'm like, okay. Well, come to find out when I get out there, and my husband came with, right? So all three of us, my husband, myself, and my little baby, we all go and we live with my mom. I was so overwhelmed with depression. I was so overwhelmed. My hemoglobin was low. My hormones were messed up. All of it, just all of it. The medical pieces of it, it was terrible. And she could hear it in my voice. And she was like, you're going to come out here right now. And I remember that overwhelming feeling. So that memory never left me. So then I'm in my upper 40s and I can feel that again, not like that, not to that degree, but all of a sudden I'm feeling a level of depression. I'm like, where is this coming from? This doesn't make sense to me. Well, I look back at even where my gut was at that time, which I would not have had enough knowledge to assess, but I was eating like total trash, right? So that whole serotonin creation, not happening or very little. And now I'm like, oh, I wish I would have understood, but I didn't. And I went on my own journey and it's all good because now I can help you because of my journey. But back to just that piece of, anxiety, brain fog, irritability, and mood swings coming from nowhere. This is like this gut issue, right? Your immune system starts overreacting or attacking your own tissue, right? Your liver gets overwhelmed and you're very slow to detox and you're slow to fat burn. And you're like, well, that's not what I want. Nobody says that they want. I'm just kidding. But truly, probably most. Nobody wants to have slow fat burning or slow metabolism and all these things. It doesn't have to do, it's not age, you guys. It's not age. It's function of the inside. It's function of what's going on under the hood of your vehicle. It's function. But did you know you can change the function? So weight loss stalls because the gut isn't supporting metabolic health. You don't need to push harder. You need to calm and reset the system that runs everything else. So if you feel like you have been at this impasse and you're just not sure, and again, your contact with me, you guys are chatting with me in my back alleyways and telling me what's going on, good, bad, and different. Like you guys are you're giving me your results. You're telling me all of the things. And it's just it's priceless because then it can help somebody else. And I always tell people, listen, if you're getting these amazing results, tell your friends. I will bonus you for referrals. Like, tell people, because you're helping them to live a different life. I don't come on here every day for me. I mean, I would be so tired of listening to myself by now. After a year and a half of doing Monday through Friday lives, I'd be so tired of myself. But you guys are the people that keep me going. So again, in talking about the gut primer, the gut reset protocol, I know I'm talking about only one pillar of the total body reset right now, but this is just so timely after that text this morning. This is so timely to be able to help. So like, what if instead of taking the summer and just trashing your body, like, I always say like a rental car, just trashing it with, all of the crap that you eat around the campfire and all of the crap that you eat at the family reunion and all of the whatever it is, the 4th of July candy, and I don't know, the pies and the Jello salads instead of trashing, what if you actually took a season to heal yourself and took a season to actually be mindful, right? So these are like some of the testimonies. After 1 week, her bloating went away. After 1 tub, her jeans that she had grown out fit again. She wished she would have had known before. She doesn't have to think about running to the bathroom 15 plus times a day. This is a second one, not the same one. I feel like a normal person. Another one, the primer has made a world of difference. I was on a med for IBS plus a prescription probiotic. Neither worked. As long as I take this, I'm good. Another one, I have definitely noticed a difference in my digestion and how calm my stomach feels after meals. I'm less bloated. Another one, I'm sleeping better than I have in years. It doesn't promise those results, but I consider it a welcome and unexpected result. And then the last one, I think, almost. I had eczema on my elbows and ankles for 2 years. After 3 months on the primer, gone. Call. Think about how when I had eczema, I put steroidal cream. My mother always had, this is just crazy to me. My mother always had a little jar of steroidal cream from her doctor. Always. What was it called, you guys? I can't remember. Man, that was a very common bathroom counter product for my mother. The steroidal cream for all of her eczema issues. Like, had I known any of this, I could have helped her. Just absolutely blows my mind as I look back at some of these things for myself and her, having taken care of her. I've been on the primer for 2 months, no bloating, no kidney issues, and I've lost 14 pounds. So those are some of the testimonies that you guys have been sending me. Hi, Terry. You're moving waist, but still bloated, Jody. Diverticulitis for your mom. My mom had diverticulitis. Yep. She knew she wasn't supposed to eat popcorn and all these things and whatever, and she'd get flare-ups and all that stuff. But I'm telling you, it is a healing journey. Now, Jody, I don't know like what your diet is, right? I think we've talked about it a little bit, and actually you do pretty well. I know that I was talking to somebody about how just be careful about some of the things that you're eating. If you notice one specific thing that's bloating you more than another. And the other thing that I would say is the primer, it has 6 blends in it, right? And one of them is a digestive enzyme. But if you're at the front end of a pretty major bloat situation, you might need to add, I keep on me extra digestive enzymes, and they look like this. And you can just find them on my site, or you can ask me for a cart. Ask me for a personalized cart. Say, I want the gut reset protocol, an extra digestive enzyme, whatever you want in the cart. Doesn't mean you have to purchase everything that's in the cart. It's just there for you. It's kind of like being a personal shopper and laying out clothes all over the table or whatever for you to look at. That's kind of a fun little like scenario. But anyway, having extra digestive enzymes can really help, because again, we are in a healing mode. We have to turn back what our bodies have been doing and aren't doing anymore. Like the function has gone down. We got to get the function back up again. And it doesn't necessarily happen immediately, right? We want it to. But that's always like, again, if you're on the top of my Instagram page and you look at my profile, those little highlight bubbles, you'll see one that says Facebook group. And the Facebook group, you'll see where people have been doing the challenges 11 months and 16 months and whatever. Those are people that gave themselves permission to go on the healing journey, because you have to make the decision that no longer are you going to require your body to fix itself next week, right? No longer are you going to continue to have the mindset that everybody else is trying to sell you, which is, listen, you can still eat whatever you want, no problem. Just take this fiber or just take this whatever and you're good to go. You have to make the decision that, okay, once and for all, I'm going to learn how to fish. I'm going to turn back the function of my body. I'm going to actually believe that my body was created to heal, and I'm going to move forward from there. And I'm just going to keep on. And like for me, had you told me it was going to take me 3 to 4 years to change out my foods, I probably would have been discouraged. I thought I was going to do everything faster than it actually happened. That's, of course, how we all are, right? We overestimate what we can do in a short period of time, but then we underestimate what we can accomplish over the next 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is, like, because everybody's in a different spot. Once you've learned how to fish, do you understand the freedom? You have to actually think about that for a minute, where you're like, oh my gosh, I now know how to avoid whatever it is that you're trying to avoid. I also know how to get rid of whatever it is that you're trying to get rid of. Maybe it's meds. And now I know how to like balance my body. Like, I don't think anymore about how to get good sleep. I've cracked the code for me. I've hacked my own system. I know what makes me feel bloated. I know what makes me feel like I've assessed myself to the point of things don't freak me out as much anymore like they used to, because you know how that is. You're just like, maybe you have a weekend where you're eating more than you know you should or whatever, and what blah, blah, blah. You wake up and you feel puffy and you're like, this isn't working. And you know, you step on the scale, which I don't do. And stuff like that. And your mind goes crazy or whatever. But I've hacked my own systems in that way. It's very, very helpful. Amen, Jody says. Amen. You'll work on a cart items to review. Jody, do that. Yeah. Because, today I'm really focusing on one pillar of the total body reset. And that pillar is the primer and the probiotic. But I'm telling you, if you can get your gut, your digestion is literally everything. It is everything. And when your insulin resistance is creating a leaky gut, heal and seal. And then what you are taking in with food and what you are taking in with supplements, the multiplying effect will be so much better than you ever knew. It'll just be heightened. And I'll wrap up with this. I didn't know when 2 years ago I started the group. It's called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. I didn't know the testimonies that I would get from you guys. My testimony, I think my testimony is great, right? Your testimonies crush my testimony. I mean, I never thought that somebody with short gut syndrome was going to find my content and then try the primer and be like, holy Hannah, this has like changed the function of my day. Like, that never dawned on me, but it never dawned on me when I talk about the trio either, or when I talk about the fat burner either. I didn't know the degree that you guys were going to actually embrace consistency, embrace your own journey, and then tell me, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I came across your content. Listen, you did it. You're the one who actually like took the responsibility and the accountability for your own health. And you guys inspire me way more than I could ever inspire you. Way more, because you guys crush my results. And then you're like, woohoo, I'm living a really fun life over here. Like, for whatever reason, fill in the blank. There's a lot of them. And I'm like, you go, girl. All right. That's it. I'm going to wrap up with that. If you need the gut reset protocol in a cart, the primer and the probiotic, just let me know and I'll get that for you. Or if anything else, and you need a customized cart, somebody reached out to me this morning. Hey, will you put this, and this in the cart? Oh, will you refresh it and add this to it? Yes, I will do that for you, because it makes it so that you actually buy into what you're purchasing for yourself, for your health. You're assessing yourself. And the best gift that you can give yourself is to assess yourself. Because now you are taking control. You're taking the reins and deciding what you want to do for your own body. Man, that is money. That is priceless. So good, so good. So, all right. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you have any questions about the glucose product that's on back order, I would say don't hesitate. Just order it, because then you'll be in line. It'll ship. You won't get charged until it ships. And if you're wanting to be a part of the 150 club, where every 3 months you purchase 150, but every third month, and this is ongoing, you get $75 off. You get paid for your own wellness. Not sure whoever else is doing that for you. Can't do it on your HSA or your insurance. But if you have questions, reach out and ask me, okay? So have the best day ever. So good to have you guys on today. And I will look for that, Jody. I'll look for that. See you later.